You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
Well, what up, man? This is your boy, Al Mega. Welcome to a brand new Comic Crusaders podcast. And today, folks, we're talking some indie comics with an amazing creator over here. I mean, not just that, he's a producer, he's a director, he's the writer and the creator of this particular project, Supernatural Baby Detective. Oh, man, I read that first issue. Man, what a twist. I wasn't expecting them to introduce the man himself, the big brains, the future legend, the superstar, Kenric Regan.
Hey!
What's poppin'?
Thanks, man. I'm doing good. It's been a wild ride so far. It's good. I love it.
Supernatural ride.
That's right. It's a horrific supernatural ride. That's right.
So Kenric, thank you for hanging out with me today. Chit chat.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Dope new Kickstarter you got going now. We got a little bit of time left, folks, to make it rain. I know payday's around the corner, so there's no excuse for you guys not to get involved in this amazing project. But
that's right.
Guess what? You know what? You know how we do in Comic Crew. Before we're gonna dive into that stuff, and make you spend your money, you got to close that door, make sure that no one's, checking in on you, and making sure you ain't opening your wallet. Close that door. And before we do that, we're gonna give you time because we're gonna dive into Kenric's origin a little bit. All right. So, Kenric, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where you originally from? And my favorite question, I always love to know this. What was the first thing that you ever fell in love with in fandom?
So I live in around the Seattle. I grew up here. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina, but my dad was in the Navy. So we came out here when I was 2, and he loved it out here. So he retired out of here, and I've been here ever since. I work in the corporate world. I do a lot of tech stuff, and I just always loved comic books, since I was a little kid. And so the first thing I really fell in love with when it comes to fandom is probably the X-Men, and most specifically probably Magic, because my brother had a bunch of comic books in his back of his fucking closet, and I'd sneak into his room and I'd be reading books, and I thought he was going to kick the shit out of me, but he came in and said, "Oh, you like these?" And then he showed me a bunch of them, and that was the first little Magic miniseries that he gave me, and I read, and that was
the first time you thought your brother was cool also?
Probably. Yeah. Yeah, probably. I mean, he was always pretty cool. We did a lot of stuff together. He's 5 years older than me. So we did he was pretty cool about things. I mean, for the most part, until he hit high school, then he was a dick.
I think every little brother would say that about their big bro, especially if there's a disparity like that.
It's hard because you when you're a kid, if you have an older brother, and you tend to idolize them, you know what I mean? And you want to be around them, you want to hang out with them, you want to do what they're doing, and they don't want their kid brother around.
Of course not. We don't want to get in as much trouble as we're getting. One of us is enough to get you. You don't need both of us getting our ass beat, please.
That's right. That's right.
Sad about this guy. I'm saving you.
That's right, man. It's all the time too. It didn't help that my parents would always blame him for everything and let me get away with shit.
That is the life of a big brother, because I'm the big brother in my family, and yes, that is the story there for sure. I think that in my head, I'd rather it be me, because I was already used to taking the hits anyway. So it is what it was. You know what I mean? Hey,
you're good to go.
I got you, kid. Don't worry. I did it. All right. So
I did it.
So did you have a good group of friends behind you with your geekdom, outside of your brother, or were you kind of dolo?
I did. I did. I was pretty lucky when I was like in elementary school and junior high. I played football. I played soccer. I loved playing sports. But I had a good group of friends that were into comic books, that were into basically the same things that I was into. So I was pretty lucky. It wasn't until like high school that things that dichotomy changed a little bit, based on the fact that they wanted to play Magic, because I graduated in 93. And so they want
class in 93.
Oh, nice. Class in 93. Yeah, they wanted to play Magic the Gathering, and that just wasn't my thing. You know what I mean? I wanted to chase girls and smoke weed and and drink and have some
we
beers.
were doing the shit that we were supposed to be doing in '93.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to do, and they were still wanting to play Magic, and I just was like, nah, just not into it. But yeah, it was. I think I was lucky. I had a good group of friends.
All right, cool. So when did you kind of then start getting creative yourself? Then talk about those early inspirations. What happened and when?
Yeah, so that's actually an interesting question because mine was not like I discovered I was a good artist or I discovered I was good at one thing and then just stuck with it, right? And I don't have that in me from being a kid. But when I was a kid, I did love telling stories. I was a big fibber when it came to things, you know what I mean? And the more outlandish I can make it and hopefully get you to believe what I'm saying, then that made my day. And when I was in Boy Scouts, when you go on your camping trips on Boy Scouts, I was the kid that was telling the campfire stories all the time. You know, like, oh, you tell the stories, da da da. And then going through school and college and all that, I was always pretty prolific writing. I was always, the fiction and all that. I was pretty good at it. I loved doing it. But I never applied myself at it. And I started doing a podcast in 2017.
Okay. Well, all right. So you said you started doing it. Talk about, first of all, I'd love to learn the roots behind this. Did you know what the hell you were doing when you did this? Like, what made you do it? How did you even put it together? How did you figure it all out? Because I know for myself, people kept asking me, I'm like, I'm busy enough. I have no time to try to figure this out. And somebody in my life came, helped me out, and then kind of set a template and foundation for me that okay, now I know what
for
to do.
Podcasting specifically.
Yeah.
So for podcasting specifically, my nephew started doing it in like 2009, like back early in the days. He was an early bird, and he stopped though in like 2011, 2012, had kids and all that kind of stuff. Him and my niece, and fast forward, it was like 2016. I went and saw Kevin Smith in Bellevue, Washington, and it was awesome. And we were talking, and we got to meet him, and he was just like, "Hey, look, if you want to do something, just do it. Stumble through it until you figure it out." And that's what we did. We're like, and we love, And the thing is every time me and Johnny get together, we always talked comics, and we always talked about all this stuff. And Johnny was a comic book artist, or he is a comic book artist. He does his own comic books, and he was doing web comics for a long time. And it was just like, what do we talk about? He goes, well, I used to do podcasting. You want to do a podcast about comic books? Yeah, let's do it. And so we started Spoiler Country, and we started talking about all this stuff. And dude, I tell you, when we first started, he wanted me to use my phone. He's like, just get your phone out and just record over your phone.
Start dirty. All right.
Yeah. But he comes out because he had been doing podcasts before with this nice mic, and he had all the setup. I'm like, no, dude, you're not coming to me with
cameras from the TV station with a teleprompter built in and shit, right? Like, what the hell is he doing? Oh, damn.
Yeah, he had it all set up, and I'm like, no, dude, no. So then I got what is that? I got like really popular mic that was popular at the time. It's the USB. It looks like a big, huge. I can't remember. I think you know which one I'm talking about. And I had that one, but it made my voice sound really tinny, and I don't like it. So then I upgraded to this guy. Yeah, but we just like literally it was just record. It was all audio at first. Let's just record. Then it was put it into Audacity and start doing our clips, doing all the manual editing ourselves, and never had messed around with Audacity. Had to figure it out from the beginning.
Oh, me too, man. I was thrown into the fire, bro. Let me tell you, my ass got burnt several times learning. But hey, it's part of the journey, and it's fun.
That's right.
Now you have AI that you throw it in there, and it does it for you in 60 seconds.
Yep, I use the script. Pull out my uhs and my ums and call it good.
Isn't it the most beautiful thing in the world? Let's be honest there. Again, the proper usage of AI.
Yeah, the proper use of AI. It can be so, like, dude, the script is awesome. You put your stuff in, you can do video and you can do audio. You put it in there, it puts it into a Word doc, and you're literally just editing the Word doc, and you're done.
That's it. You're done.
I love it.
Seconds what used to take hours. Again, as a podcast,
Hours.
I appreciate this because you understand that.
Yep.
Doing the show is fun. Doing the editing, not so much.
And the other thing that I learned was I found the tool called Levelator, and that was game changing for me because then
you up. No pun intended.
Yeah, it would level everybody and make everybody sound the same level. So you didn't have one person way high and one person where you can barely hear them. And then, you got them all the same and then you're going and it sounds good. I liked it. Yeah.
Fantastic. You see that?
Yeah. But after we get going, you start, I'm sure you go through this yourself because you're talking. I've watched your show and you do a great job, man. You really do. And watching everybody on there. And, I got to a point where I was like, I like telling stories. I got a lot of stories to tell and I want to do something more than just be somebody who talks about somebody. I want to do my own thing. Yeah. I want to do something. So I was like, I'm going to throw my hat out there and comic books is something I know, something I love. So
I salute you, man.
Thank you, sir.
That takes courage. Because again, you're putting yourself out there on a way different level now. This is podcasting and talking here is one thing. You know what? We know what we're doing here. But when you get into something that you created from your heart, holy shit! Now, that's a baby. It's coming from within you differently than what this is.
Dude, I tell you, it was hard, man. I wrote the script, I wrote the story, I wrote the scripts, and then I gave it to Johnny, and he wanted to be a part of it. I'm like, yeah, of course, man. And then he starts reading, he starts wanting to change something, and I'm like, insta dick. I'm like, no, man. You can't. I can't have you start changing things, and you know what I mean. It was like I become a control freak.
Consuelo. No.
Yeah. No. But it worked out. He did the colors on it, and Ram Sandoval's did all the art. And man, I'm excited. I'm really excited.
Okay, so before I show off the Kickstarter video, I'm about to put that on screen. What I want to know, what was the actual seed of this? Did this happen in a random conversation? Was this something that was internal within you since a child? When you came out, it was born. When you said, "Why?" You were like, "Baby detective." Was your first.
So, I've been a big reader my whole life, right? Not just comic books, but just books in general. And the older I gotten, the more I tend to like supernatural, hard-boiled detective style stories. Like I love Hellboy. I love John Constantine. I love Sandman Slim by Richard Kadrey. There's just all these, there's all these styles of books. And I don't know. I've always been in the bag for those. So I was actually doing an episode and I was talking, I want to say it was Michael Tanner of Junior Braids of the Apocalypse. Okay, I think it was him that was on, and we were talking. And I love random words like Dr. Seussian kind of things flown together, like squirrel nut zipper pancakes or whatever. You know what I mean? You just kind of random words together, right? And we were talking about something, and I said supernatural baby detective, and it made me laugh. And I was like, oh, that's funny. And then the next day, I was like, oh, there's a story there that could be kind of weird. And I
stuck with you.
Yeah, it stuck with me. And I thought, well, maybe I can write something that's kind of like, and I wanted something to write towards. I had started writing a like a sci-fi thing, and it was like a dream that I had for this sci-fi. And I was like, I'm going to do this. And then I just decided, I'll still finish it, but I kind of dropped the ball on it because this idea came to me, and I got excited for it, and I went down and I bought a big ass whiteboard, and a 6-foot whiteboard, stuck it on my bedroom wall, started writing all the characters out that came to my mind, started plotting it and outlining it. And when I first did it, I thought, it'll be like a Look Who's Talking with like a supernatural twist. It'll be cute. God.
Classic movie for those that don't know. Holy crap.
Yeah. And then but that's not what came out. That's not what came out at all. It's something completely different. And there's some comedy in it. It can get pretty dark, and there's definitely horror involved.
So don't worry. More questions coming up. Let's take a pause for just a moment as we're going to show off right now the Kickstarter video, folks. Put your wallets out because this is something that you're going to want to, spend some money on. Let's do it.
I love it.
about that.
That's all right.
Sorry, folks. I have
That look cool though. Burbank looks cool.
I'm so sorry. I have so many different appointments. I'm so sorry. You should have stopped me immediately. I was like, oh shit, wait a minute, wrong one. Here we go. So sorry. All right, here we go.
You're good.
This is the legit one right here.
Yeah, mine's not all flashy like that. I'm kind of jealous.
I'm pretty sure it is, bro. I'm pretty sure. If Kickstarter allows me. Now they're like, Al, you fucked up. And
they don't
for a moment.
Yeah. I didn't know what I was doing when I built my Kickstarter campaign.
Oh, okay. We're gonna talk about that joint. I'm pretty sure
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's get into that one. Folks, apologies for the boo-boo. Here we go once more. Wepa. Let's get it done. Where we at? It'll be nice to add it to the stage. Yay, there we go. All right. Let's go.
My name is Kenric Regan. I am the writer, creator of Supernatural Baby Detective. It is a noir, Lovecraftian horror. It has elements of comedy, elements of extreme horror. It's really a lot of fun, actually. It's got a lot of twists and turns that may be unexpected, or maybe you've seen some of my other videos and you know exactly what to expect. These are some pages that are done, and I hope maybe it tweaks your interest, or it piques your interest, as they say. It's been an adventure to get to this point. It's been a nonstop cavalcade of help. I've been very lucky to have an amazing team. Ramses Sandoval as the artist. He comes out of the Yucatan down there in Mexico. I have Jay Horsley III doing all the colors and a lot of art direction, and a lot of the pictures that you see through the rewards and all that. That all comes from him. I have Greg Smith, who came on board and is helping me put everything together. It's been amazing. I got lucky. I got Richard Starkings, an Eisner Award-winning letterist.
What the hell?
Read the script, came on board. I don't know what else to tell you. If you get someone like him to come on, then it's worth checking out. I hope you guys give this a chance, because it's a passion project of mine. Put my own money into it. Everybody's been paid. The only thing I'm building up to now is printing costs to get everything out. There's lots of rewards you can go through. If you have any questions, reach out. Let me know. I just really hope everybody enjoys this. It's been an adventure. Let's have fun together.
Let's do it. Woo!
Let's do it.
All right, folks. So here we go. So with 65 backers of a $3,000 goal, he's at 3,176. So congratulations, you are in.
Thank you.
All right, but now listen, with 7 days to go, let's get homie up to about $25,000. Let's do that. Right?
I love it. I love it. Let's do it.
It doesn't look like fun, folks. All right, now let's get into it. We're about to now learn about all the awesomeness that's going to be part of this dope Kickstarter. Thank you. There we go. Windows decided to cooperate with me. Supernatural Baby Detective. There we go. Oh man, what's up with these goddamn bloody bunny rabbit masks? I just recently had the pleasure of speaking to Sandy King Carpenter about Don Carpenter's new show, Suburban Dreams, is coming up on Peacock. And there's an episode of Bunny Man. Let me tell you, if that's done, we need a full-length feature now. And now this shit is creeping me out because it's giving me flashbacks.
Oh, that's hilarious. I had no idea. Yeah. So
timing, jeez.
Hey, I got something timed right. Usually I'm like so far behind that I'm coming in late.
No, bro, this is amazing, bro. Because when people see that Bunny Man episode, listen, bro, it's on that level of kookiness on this shit. Let me tell you. I mean, and who did this already? It looks pretty cool, man. This
is all Ram. Ram did 100% of that and all the colors and everything. He did a great job. Yeah,
they got some panels, 24-page noir-based Lovecraftian comedy horror. Love those. I mean, that's what we're getting nowadays anyway, because all horror makes me laugh anyway. At the end of the day, because
it's over the top.
Yeah, there hasn't been a serious horror since Exorcist back in the day. You know what I mean? And then this new one I've heard is just a travesty. So.
Oh, really?
I've
seen the commercials, but I haven't seen any reviews on it.
Oh yeah, check out my man Klebs. He actually dropped it. He saw it yesterday, and he mentions how they bring in Helen Bernstein. In the first part, however, no connection to the first part.
So what's the point?
Exactly. Now I'll leave it at that. Folks, you want something that makes sense? You get Supernatural Baby Detective. So let me tell you, one of the coolest origin stories I've read in a long time.
Nice.
Oh shit. Okay. Because you're talking about a baby detective, and I'm waiting for the baby detective. And when that twist came in, I said, "Oh shit, cool." All right, so you are a sick-minded man, sir. I
like it. I try.
Yeah. Talk about how that portion of an origin story even came about in your mind. How was that even seeded?
Yeah, when I started writing it out, I knew who Frank was going to be and how Frank was, but I needed to get him there and how I was going to do it. And I needed it to make it to where it would be outlandish, but at the same time, when you start thinking about it, you're like, oh, I can actually understand why he is the way he is, and have a way for you to, I wanted people to connect with him on both a level of being an older person that might be into reading the story, or somebody that's like hasn't had this type of story put in front of them before. And and I felt like it was original, and I don't really know where the idea of bringing him into that circumstance came in. Like, I don't know where it just came out when I started writing.
All right, I gotta ask a question then. Just do you smoke weed?
I don't. I used to smoke weed like a lot, and
that shit crazy to me. I said, "Oh, damn, you got to be a smoker or some shit, bro."
I mean, we go camping or something, and you pass the doobie around, I'm gonna partake. You know what I mean? But I'm not.
I don't know when I imagine you do that, because if you came up with this, you're sober. I cannot imagine what you'll come up with. I mean, you'll probably bring forth the apocalypse, bro. I'll be scared. I'll be scared of your powers, bro.
It's a lot of fun. I just wanted something original, because I look out and don't get me wrong, I love like all the superhero stuff, but I'm finding myself not reading it as much, and starting to getting and where it's at to me, I feel like the independent scene is where it's at right now.
That is why we do here at Comic Crew. It's all about indie, because if you want. Everybody wants to talk about diversity. Listen, for me, it's all about diversity and content. That's the only shit that matters to me. Diversity and content. And guess what? We're getting it. There is something literally for everyone in comic. You read in indie, you cannot complain on indie. Marvel,
that's right.
With / Disney, DC, they're all catering, to whatever they need to cater to books. But indie is keeping it real. And not saying that indie creators don't cater. Some do. But I think that, because of the vast amount, you just have a lot more diversity and choices in that.
That's right. Well, you see DC and Marvel, they're not even showing their numbers anymore for the sales. And I think it's not about them excluding audiences. I really think the indie scene is doing so much better now that those numbers are starting to align,
They need to now start listening and be more respectful to their creators. I mean, when is the comic book strike coming?
Right. Could happen.
I mean, it could. I mean, video games is on alert right now. So it's like, all right, you either fix your shit or we're going against you next. And, what industry is next? I mean, Image Comics just formed the union recently, right? So, again, we're talking about writers as a whole. Those writers wind up making, TV shows. So let's see what happens. I mean, I know this is going to be a TV show eventually. I would like to see more than animated, because it'll probably be better.
The goal, it's funny that you say that. That's cover A,
bro.
And that cover was drawn by a guy named Aladdin out of Cairo, Egypt. Yep, Aladdin.
For real, some shit. Because, bro, Aladdin is fucking sick, man.
Yep. And I designed it. I said, this is what I need. I want it to look like this. And then he drew it out and he captured it perfectly. Yeah. And then Johnny did the colors for us, and he did a great job coloring it.
Yeah, that looks so sick, and I love it, man. Yeah. He got a little fucking old school detective hat with suspenders and shit.
Yeah. He's cool, man. It worked out really well. And that's our cover A. The only thing is that apparently Cthulhu is not as popular as he was like 3 years ago on Kickstarter.
Oh, you know what? Because everybody was conveying Cthulhu to be COVID, and everybody was scared, and they wanted to make sure, like today, everybody thought they want to turn into a zombie, for example. So
yeah. But for me, Cthulhu is just a backdrop. It's good. Well, then we got our players. There's Frank. That's Frank Solomon, our private eye, and he's investigating kidnappings. Then that's his assistant Pearl, who is like a daughter to him.
Yeah, but I love the hair done on her. Love that big hair always.
Yeah. Oh, that's a deep one. That one was drawn by Ron Randall. I gave him a copy of the issue, same one that you read, and he liked it enough that he said, "Hey, I want to draw a print for you." And Ram was over the moon that Ron Randall, who has been a professional comic book artist since the late 70s, early 80s, took one of his pictures and you know what I mean? Took one of his his designs and created that. And he was like, I can't believe that one of my designs Ron Randall did.
That's it. It's fire, man. I mean, would you join that demon for a drink? Hey, I mean,
I have the original watercolor of that, and then this is when you go down, that's EB. That's our Easter Bunny, who is the main protagonist or antagonist. Sorry, he's the main antagonist throughout the story, and he's worshiping a statue of Cthulhu there.
Huh. Interesting. I wonder if Bunny Man versus Cthulhu. You got me wondering now. Like, that's
the backside of If you scroll down, you see the Easter Bunny mask there on the bottom.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Holy shit! And the motherfucker walks around with a tail too. Look at this guy.
Yeah.
I hope it's not a butt plug, man. That shit must hurt.
Yeah. And this is 3 pages of 3 internal pages. This is actual lettering from Richard Starkings, which is great.
Yeah, how did you even land the legendary Mr. Starkings, man?
I have a buddy that has been close friends with him for a long time, and he said, "Hey, you should read this script." And he read the script, and he said, "I like it. I want to work on it with you." And wow. Got lucky. Just luck, really. Sometimes it's who you know.
That means that you're on the right path, and you got people on that level that see what you're doing, bro. That's just an amazing sign. Bless, brother, bless.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And look at this. I mean, you were about to tell me when I mentioned about the animation. I mean, because it looks in an animated way.
Well, that's one of the goals. So this is a 4-issue arc. This is issue 1. Issue 2 is fully written. Issue 3 and 4 are outlined and ready to go. I'll start once we start this coming week on pencils and inks on issue 2. And once we get done with pencils and inks, I'll write issues 3 and 4. And then that's the variant cover. Oh, and fun. Yeah, that's a cool one because that is an homage to the EC horror books of the 1950s. And then it's also a double homage because it's a homage to Iron Maiden Killer's album. The cover from back in the day.
What we need to be listening to as we read the book.
It actually might kind of go well together. Yeah. It's just a classic cover. So that's an enamel pin that you can get.
Goodies over here. So wait a minute. Before we start getting into it, that way they know how much they got to spend on. So right now, folks, you want to be kind and, just good people. You could look $1 just because you like tipping. That's what it is. A digital issue starts at $4. Great price. You know what I mean? For a digital issue. And here we go. Get yours before they sell out. You could get a deep one enamel pen
for $8.
$8. Look at this mofo right here.
Yeah, it's good. They did a good job on it. It's detailed.
That's a face only a mama could love, for real. I mean, look at this motherfucker. God,
Yeah.
Hey, look at that. That's what is
Yeah.
very shadow looking right here, son.
Yeah, that's JB Panonis out of the Philippines. He drew that. So it's one of the pins, and he wanted to go for like that noir look. So I gave him some covers of like The Big Sleep and some Humphrey Bogarts.
Excellent. So there we go, folks. As mentioned before, we could start getting prints as low as PDS is $4.
Yep.
The pins are $8. And when you start getting into some actual nice cover A plus a digital copy of an actual pressed print copy, you could smell the ink. These are gonna be hot off the presses. They're gonna burn your fingers, right?
I love that. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I get a new book.
Yeah, bro, you get high off that shit. I have a friend of mine. He buys vintage books, bro. He goes, that ink was better, and I almost swear that he does get high. I looked at him. I was like, yo, bro, you all right now? Is like in a euphoric state? I think they probably laced those books with mushroom at some point. Who knows?
A little LSD.
I mean, it was the era, man. If Kirby was doing like 100 books a month, you had to be on some shit, bro.
No, dude.
So check this out. You could get the a dope cover B print right off the press. I mean, for 15. You know what I mean? Which is really dope. I mean, then you got the Deep Ones exclusive prints. Ron Randall at 15. You got the JB Panotes at 15. Covers A and B, a double whammy right there, baby, for $21. Plus
the digital.
Yeah, exactly. Throw that in there, folks. That means you get these, keep them pristine, get them CGC or get them signed. Make sure you have a witness, because this is going to be the next big thing. Trust me, you won't regret it. Gonna be some fire, fire, and there we goes the homage at 22. I mean, with the enamel print as well. So that's a dope bargain to get signed. Old school like that. Looking, Jesus Christ. I wish people will understand that. Maybe recording, friends. Right? And I'm sorry because I was supposed to be off.
I get it, man.
Don't you love this? Like, if you reject, it's because you're actually maybe in the middle of something. So give me a moment. So with that, then there we go, folks. We have all right. So start when you get into those numbers. Now we're talking some serious stuff, yo. So we need to go look at these goodies, extensively now. So $65 right here, right? Boom, boom.
Yeah.
So you get A and B, all the digitals, and the Randall print. Ooh. Yep. So that's 10 items right there. You're talking about all for 65.
Yep.
Dope. And plus, of course, you can add on stuff because I know you guys want.
You can do some add-ons, yeah.
Of course, I mean, who doesn't want to do add-ons? You want to spend, you want to support. Here we have more right here. Get cover A, cover B. Both covers one great price, and this has 12 items right here. Yeah. And then look, with nearly everything, a sealed goodie bag. Oh my God, yo, at $75, yo, that is 16 different items. 16 items for 70. I mean, you can't even come out of a supermarket for 16 items for $75. Impossible.
Yeah, that was interesting. The only thing you don't get with those is the first 10. So we have a thing where you have the first 10 coming off the printing press are going to be shipped separately to us. And those are sold. So you can get, like, if you want cover A and you want one of the first 10s, you get one of the first off the printing press. Then it has.
Hold on. Let me get you over on a better look right there. There we go. Hey, check that out.
And then that sticker gets onto the cover, and then we handwrite one of 10 so that that you got the first book of the first 10, right? Oh, and then it goes out, and then we have the matching set where you can get cover A and cover B. So if you get one of the first prints of 10. So you'd get matching set 2 of 10 for A and B. That already sold out though. That sold out like the first day.
Okay, so look at that. He's telling us about this, folks, teasing the shit out of us, and then we can't even buy it.
You can do cover A singly and you can do cover B singly, but you can't do the two together anymore. That's sold out. If I knew it was going to be that popular, I would have just done the matching set together, and that's it.
What? Now for campaign number 2. You know what I mean? Lesson learned. Now this is the question I don't have to ask. What did you learn from the first campaign? Oh, do more of this. Now we know. All right.
Yep, exactly. The biggest thing I learned is maybe not quite as many tiers, but the right tier levels.
Yes.
And kind of learn what you need to do. Because Kickstarter says, okay, here you go. And you don't really know what you're doing. You gotta research, and you gotta see what everybody else is doing, and you got to get into the community and listen to these guys. Because the one thing that the independent comic book scene is really good at is propping each other up. Nobody is telling you lies. They want to help. And
one of the most supportive comic book communities I've ever seen. Because I see Big Two, I see Premiere. I see I'm going by how Diamond wants to divide people, if you will. They have the Premiere, they have their independent, they have the deluxe, and they have the Big Two, right? So everything above indie, I don't see much of the hype between those creators, but on the independent side, holy shit, the support is unbelievable between creators, and I mean they're not even working together. That by all means, you guys got books out at the same time. You're competing against one another, but in all reality. However, the respect and support that is there, regardless of that fact, is what's so impressive about this.
They've all been great. I mean, I've had Travis Gibbs spent 2 hours with me going over the Kickstarter to make sure that I had everything that I should have on there and that it looked right. And Travis Gibb, Charles McAvey, just so many people. I can't even name them all because there's so many people who help.
You see, I know all these names you're saying again because that's how the community is. Fantastic, great people, and I always love when you guys do this because you always got to make sure that we involve the retailers, the local comic shops. They need to thrive too. We need to make them aware. Again, help them build up those independent shows. And when you guys do this, is amazing. So retailers, listen up. It's, you get covers A, B, 16 copies. All right here for
total 32 copies.
Oh yeah, shit. Hand over fist, you're winning on this, guys. I mean, do the math. I mean, you don't even got to really do the math. It's shit, 32 plus this. Oh, okay, you're winning. Yeah, and you're supporting indie, and you now got some new shelf porn. Hey,
yay!
For us geeks, that's what that is. You know what I mean? I know for the Mac daddies out there, you see an ass. I mean, me too. You turn around, but we do the same shit on the shelf. You're like, ooh, what's up that book? Hold on,
what's going on down there?
We give it the same approach almost. Hey, all right, for real. This is definitely a sexy book with an amazing, awesome story. And look, you want to see guys and stuff you missed because you just didn't want to catch on. You're waiting till there's 7 days left. How dare you? You know what you missed out on? The early book issue right here of that right there. Cover B right there. Look at all you missed. Look at all you missed. Isn't that horrible? Don't you feel bad about yourselves? Now this is why you gotta go and support all the other goodies that are available. All right. So I'm sure
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's just the truth, man. We gotta pimp the game. We have 7 days to go with 65 backers, and a salute to you amazing 65 backers for supporting indie because you know what the real is. But again, even though he's met his goal with 7 days, let's make that even higher. I'm pretty sure he's gonna do some more wild stuff. Maybe we'll get
some stretch goals planned out.
No, I know what's gonna happen, folks. If we get to $4,000, Kenric will do a George Costanza style picture on a bear rug or a sofa for you guys. I mean, he will make it happen.
I would totally do that, man.
But look, you see,
that's hilarious.
I mean, you gotta go. I'm gonna give you 2 places where you could go to support this amazing comic book. The website sbdcomic.com takes you straight. Or if you just want to go, if you're on Kickstarter right now, please look up Supernatural Baby Detective on Kickstarter. Again, 7 days. And I've been showing off the socials as well. The notes are below. You can follow my homie on Instagram at Kenric Regan and on Bluesky, Bluesky.social. You know what it is. Now, what's happening, bro? Tell us these words, man. With the 7 days to go, what do you anticipate? And as soon as this is finished, how soon you expect to get issue 2 rolling?
Yeah, so we're hoping it's trending to about 4,700, which would be great. We have some cool stretch goals that we want to get out there. We got a really cool sticker, and we're going to do like a DVD style commentary with each page that you can read along with. And then I'm trying to convince a voice actor to read the book so that you could follow along. Like, do you remember so you and I are similar in age, obviously. We both graduated in 93. Do you remember those old school records you could get that would have like, they had like the Hobbit record and you'd have the Hobbit picture book and and you could follow along and the person would be reading it on their, so I want to do something like that. And so we're just kind of working towards those kinds of things. Once it goes as soon as it funds, within the week after that, we'll be able to send it to the printer. And then everybody should start getting their books in late November, early December.
Oh, nice. There we go. Early Christmas gifts for everybody.
Yeah.
When your family's arguing during Thanksgiving football, you could go to a quiet room and read Supernatural Baby Detective and have a real good time and go back to them like, why are you messing with this? Read this, go to the room.
Yep. And it's a lot of fun. And the goal is, as soon as we get that, we actually start, as soon as the Kickstarter is done, we start pencils and inks on issue 2. So, because that's already fully written. And then we'll get going on that, and then coloring, and then editing, and then we'll get everything. And so we're hoping to launch the Kickstarter for issue 2 in April. That's our current goal right now. We have 4 issues planned. The goal is this: get issue 1, get all 4 issues out, get a trade paperback out so people can have it in one item. And then my ultimate fantasy is to be able to run a Kickstarter to gain enough to make an animated movie out of it.
Well, it's not a fantasy. You have now said the words. You have manifested magic, so it's going to happen now.
Right? That's the ultimate goal. Yeah, and we started our own publishing company called Spoilerverse Comics, and we have Ein's Anthology that's out already. We have this one, Jonely Only, which is like a Trailer Park Boys kind of style book. Yeah, it's fun. It's moronic comedy. It's funny. Johnny does all of that on his own. Yeah, and then we have 2 stories that we're working on right now that will hopefully launch after we're done with Supernatural Baby Detective.
All right, so Spoilerverse is going to be getting busy, baby. Woo! Yeah. I can't wait.
That's the goal.
2 last questions here. First, are you going to make any appearances at any conventions or shows anywhere people can meet you in person coming up? Yeah,
we're going to try to come up with the Emerald City Comic-Con, and then Rose City just happened, so maybe next year. And then we're going to try to hit San Diego, and then because I'm on the West Coast, so those are easy to drive up and down to go to. And then
WonderCon as well in Anaheim.
In WonderCon, in Anaheim. And I'd love to get over to I want to try Baltimore, because everybody I've ever heard of said Baltimore Con is just amazing.
Yeah, I've heard the same. I have not had the honor. I'm doing New York, next week.
I want to go to New York. I've never been to New York City, so I really want to go to New York.
Oh, you're not going to want to leave because of, you're going to want to leave because of the rent, but you won't want to leave because of the food. That's for sure.
Well, I love food, so that'd be good.
Oh, bro, they're going to have to roll you out of New York City, let me tell you.
I love it. My cousin lives in on Manhattan Island, so I'll probably just go and stay there.
Good pizza, good everything, and good bars, and beautiful sights, and just don't step on a rat. That's all.
Yeah. The nice big ones.
Actually, I think rats are becoming Ubers in New York. They come with straps, and you basically put one on each foot, and they
with a saddle.
So, all right, and lastly, what type of advice would you give to people trying to come up and out? Because here we go. You navigated. You're a nerd. You did a podcast, and from that podcast, you said, "I'm gonna do something." So, what type of advice would you give to somebody that maybe is on the same lane?
The best advice I can give is to just get out and do it. You have to start somewhere. And for me, it was, I read Neil Gaiman's How to Make Comics, right? And it's part of his masterclass, but it's free. And you can look up Neil Gaiman, How to Make Comics. It comes right up, and he literally walks you how he does it. And it's awesome. And I didn't know what to do. So I busted out PowerPoint and started using PowerPoint to make my pages, and then and then create my text boxes, because it made it easier for me to see what it could be as a page, and then start typing my story in. And that helped me a lot. And then from that came my script. So I wrote everything out in comic book form. And then my artist, Ram, really loved that, because it made it easy for him to go, oh, I know exactly what he's seeing. It's all right here. It's already mapped out. And so that worked really well. And just get a good team around you, reach out to people. If you can find a good mentor, that helps. I got lucky. I got a good mentor that just helps me out understanding the business, understanding where you need to go, and not scared to tell. And you know what? This is the best thing. Don't surround yourself with yes men. Oh yeah, that's great. Oh yeah, that's great. Want real opinion or real advice. If you don't,
my feelings, if you have to, don't be an asshole. But
don't be an asshole. But tell me what you really think, and don't be,
It sucks. Tell me why it sucks. Don't be like, oh, this shit sucks. All right, but why does it suck? And be honest about it.
Exactly.
You're right, because those are friends.
Those are friends. Ones that yes you, not friends.
Yeah.
They don't want to deal with any. They don't want to deal with any of your issues. They don't want to deal with anything. Real friends deal with it.
Yeah, they only want to deal with the winning side of the situation. Not the journey.
Yeah. They'll be there when you're winning.
Yeah,
but they won't be there when you're hurting.
Those that are there with you. I'm very lucky to be surrounded by people, in fact, that are about the journey. So I'm blessed for that. Luckily,
I think it's all about the journey, man.
But it definitely is.
The hardest thing.
People you meet, like even the way I'm thinking about New York Comic Con, even. Now, I know panels and but no, I think I actually want to hang out more on Artist Alley. I want to talk to my indie people. I want to keep celebrating that. I mean, does Marvel Disney need me? No.
Right.
Does the independent community need a voice? Yes. So I think that's where I think I want to kind of lead my journey this year, New York Comic Con. Like I've done the big stuff and it's been fun.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's you guys that matter.
Yeah. I just want that original voices. I want original stories. I love Spider-Man. I grew up reading Spider-Man, one of my favorites,
and it hurt what's going on.
Yeah. But Kraven's Last Hunt was my favorite story ever. And I read that so many times. And Wolverine by Chris Claremont, the miniseries Wolverine. Yeah. One of my favorites ever. I read that when that trade came out back in like 1986, 1987. I read that stupid thing. I don't know how many times I read that book.
Well,
and
one of my boys one day called me years ago, and he's at a local comic shop. And this is before the Wolverine movie came out. He's like, hey, my comic shop got 3 sets of the Wolverine 1 through 4. I said, how much? He goes, $20 per set. I said, what? I said, yo, get me one.
Get me two.
One for my brother. And yo, I think you need to buy the other one. Like right now, he goes, why? And when I told him why, this guy walked out all 3 sets.
It's right there. It's right. Look at it. It's right there.
I see it.
Yep. There's number 1 right there. I love those books, man. And but now I've read them for so long, and and they've so many changes, so many things, which is fine because they're not writing for me anymore. They're writing for their next audience. So that's fine. I get it.
I think people like not in that year that we graduated are very like-minded. We all think on that level, like it's not for us anymore.
Yeah,
you've outgrown it, and so you navigate towards the things that are for us, like what you're doing. Yes, it could appeal to a younger audience. But it'll definitely appeal to me because I was like, yo, this motherfucker's batshit crazy. What the hell's going on here? I love this.
I love it.
I said I had a great time reading it. I smiled several times throughout the book. So, when I'm able to read that makes me smile, it makes me get
glad.
And even makes me say, oh shit. All right. I think you have a winner on your hands, and I'm definitely curious to see how the story unfolds.
I love it.
Yeah, man. So you definitely got a fan in me.
Thanks, Al.
No, for sure. And my fellow Crusaders, support independent. The links are below. Again, I'm going to repeat one more time. Kickstarter, Supernatural Baby Detective. He's on Instagram at Kenric Regan. Also on Bluesky, kenric.bluesky.social. Look at that. He got on so early that he was able to dominate and get his first name only. He's like the share of Bluesky. You feel me? So and go to SBD.
Oh, you're right. That's cool.
There you go. SBDcomic.com, baby. Show the love. That's Kenric Regan. Thank you so much for joining me, and thank you for just putting
Thanks, Al.
out there and sharing. And you inspire me as a podcaster as well to see that story. I mean, evolve and and do new things, yo, and inspiration.
Yeah.
Keep going. I only see you winning. All right. And
Thank you, sir.
Everybody that tunes into our stuff. All right. So before we
That's
go
right.
real quick, when does your pod drop?
My podcast?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were doing it every day for like 3 years. So from 2017 to 2022, we released over 850 episodes.
Holy shit.
Yeah. We took a hiatus. You know how much work that is. We took a hiatus for a year because we had burnt out. But we talked to Tommy Chong. We talked to Thomas Frank. We talked to so many big people, and Robert Wool. We talked to tons of great people, but it just got where you get to the point where you're just like, you're done. You're just like, I'm burnt out and I can't just keep doing this. And really, I just love doing the independent scene because when you talk to people out of Hollywood, it's weird because you're promoting them. We're getting 130,000 hits a month on our website every time we dropped a new episode.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're doing that, you're giving them a lot of free press, and it's like, okay, cool. Can you guys tweet out or Facebook that you're on our show and things they don't do it. And it's like, well, I'm doing you a favor. What the hell? So you just
the struggle of the little guy, unless you're the big guy,
it's the struggle of the little guy.
They'll make out with your butthole so much that they'll have brown lipstick. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Independent guys, though, they're all about it, and they want to be, they want to get their name out, and they want to help, and they want to be there too. So it's all good.
For me, not even about getting my name out as helping me. I want to get your name out. I want to just be an avenue and a lane. I've had the platform for a while, and throwing in the podcast has definitely helped in sharing the independent comic creator journey. And with that, folks, once again, I am Al Mega with the amazing Kenric Regan. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, sir.
To do. Much love, mi gente. Hasta la próxima. ¡Huepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, if you like subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.